Tears and disbelief across fan zones across Argentina. The Albiceleste missing out on back-to-back World Cup titles. Disappointment back in the homeland for Argentina. However, deep gratitude for Lionel Messi as we come to the end of an era for one of the most decorated and brightest stars to ever grace the game. Gracias eternas, says La Capital. All gracias for Lionel Messi, and a lot to thank this player for from Argentina and beyond. Let's welcome in our very own Argentine, Martin Einstein, right now. Some mixed emotions probably right now. Martin, let me start with Lionel Messi and everything that this ending here in the World Cup has meant for him.
Hello, Kay. Hola, Kay. Hello to everybody. I have lived, I was born in Argentina. My heart is Argentinian because when you start playing football, the first time you go to a stadium, that's what you have inside. But 21 years living in Spain, my home, my two girls, they were born there. So they were, it was pretty tough for me to experience yesterday's match because I didn't know where to stand. But let's talk about Leo. I think that we have to be thankful. Leo has given everything and more. He didn't have to prove himself or anybody else what he is. He scored 8 goals, 4 assists. He was the light of the Argentina, the center, the DNA of the team. Everything happened around him, and he was so important for Argentina to reach the final. The heart, the football, the tactics, the spirit. So I think that we don't have to keep an eye on the result or the last performance that Argentina had to rate Lionel Messi's career or the last part of his career. Messi will be there forever. I don't think, if we only talking about football, not the icon, not the connection with the working class or the people in Argentina or the world, because the empathy that Maradona had is irreplaceable. But if we're talking about football, there's no one like Messi in the history of the game. Why? He has been at such a top level, being decisive for so many years. I mean, we were talking about numbers, 8 goals, 4 assists at 39 years old. And this is not an excuse, but Messi was playing a final at 3 p.m. without a roof in the New York summer. I mean, it was not the best scenario for him to shine. It was not the best game for him either. But I will say that the mark that he has left for kids, for fans, for journalists is undoubtedly the most important figure in the history of the sport.
Yeah, of course. Now, obviously, you're in the United States right now, Martin, but you'll have seen some of the reaction back in Argentina to how it all ended in the World Cup final yesterday. What are the reports saying and what's their take on it? Obviously, across here, you've seen there's a lot of people upset and disappointed with those scenes. What's the feeling back in Argentina?
There's many. I mean, we Argentinians. We don't have one feeling. We feel very strongly about so many things. So there's disappointment, of course. There's sadness, but also we are thankful to what this team has brought in this World Cup. We never expected to see, because this team didn't quite work in any of the games they play, very few. But they have so much heart. They fought for every ball like it was the last one. They never said, we are out, we're not going to fight anymore. I mean, it was really touching to see these men that they knew that they didn't have the quality, the automatisms, the way of playing that they had 3.5 years ago in Qatar. They knew that. They knew they were more fragile, that Messi was 39, that Di Maria was not there, but still, they deliver they commit and they shine. So I thought when I saw, and I was covering Spain through all the World Cup, I saw after the game that Spain beat France, that it was going to be very hard for Argentina to equal that level, to be at that at that game, at that quality, not only individual but in terms of the collectiveness of the sport and of the game. Rodri was amazing, and I remember talking to Mikel Merino saying the key for us against Argentina is not having the ball in our feet so much, moving the ball very fast, creating spaces, dominating, to defend and to attack. And this is what they did. I mean, Argentina didn't create one chance in 90 minutes, only two against 20 in the whole game. So it's true, Argentina, and because they had, and the way they play, they could have gone to the penalties. They have two very clear occasions to score, but it was going to be very unfair. If you look at the game, if you look at how the game was, because Spain was much better side. They play incredibly good, and they shine like a real champion. They were the real champions. So nothing to say to Argentinians. I agree with you. The way they ended with a fight, with things that we don't like to see on the pitch. I'm not here, and I wouldn't imagine being there with the frustration, with so many things that were said from the Spanish players and the Argentinian players, the heartbeat at 180. I don't know how will I react, but it wasn't. I mean, that was not the image, and the memories that we wanted to have in the last dance of Lionel Messi in a World Cup.
Let's get to Spain then. As you mentioned, Martin, you've been living in Spain a long time. In fact, I moved there in 2006, and you were already an established figure there. In the journalism world, when I got to Spain, you've been covering closely this Spain side. You've watched so many of these players. You've been on bicycle rides with many of them for our Bicycle Diaries series. You're probably not surprised with what we're seeing from this national team right now.
I think, I mean, for me it was a privilege to be so close to them. We started in Puebla in the last friendly they had, and it's very nice to work with the federation, because it's the national team that opens its door the most. They give you a chance to be very close to the players. And Luis de la Fuente, for me, is one of the main responsibles of this World Cup, because he was saying, you know what? Don't worry. I mean, the calm, the tranquility is power. We have time. We will develop the best performances on each player. He had Lamine Yamal injured. He had Nico Williams injured. He had Mikel Merino with a fracture in February. Play only 26 minutes before De La Fuente's list. Fabian Ruiz also injured. I mean, Rodri started playing with Manchester City in March. I mean, 2.5 months before the start of the World Cup. So he knew that he had two phases of the World Cup. The first one was the easiest one, so he wanted to recover the best version out of the key players. And when he had those players, he said, we're good. I mean, we have survived. We have won the games that we needed to be there. Now we're going to shine. And he gave the confidence to the players, so they understand that this was a long tournament, and a long tournament was not a handicap for them due to the situation. It was an advantage. They used time to cure and to queue up the players so they are ready to perform and to compete at their best, their best physical and rhythm. So it's amazing what Spain have done. But Luis de la Fuente has a lot to do with that.
Okay, we've got to go quick with you now, Martin, but you've been at the World Cup from the very beginning. You got to go all the way to the end because you were following Spain. How would you rate your experience here in the United States in the World Cup?
amazing. From the Spain side, I loved it. I didn't understand quite so much the election of the final. New York is a great city, but this was not the best stadium. I mean, there are stadiums with roof, AC, that are amazing. Dallas, for example. LA is incredible. I know LA hosted the final in '94, but it was not an easy stadium to work, not an easy stadium to play. The grass was not in good condition. So I love the multiculturality of the World Cup. I love the 48 teams. I didn't like the hydration pauses, and I didn't like the election of the last game. But thumbs up. I mean, it worked, and I really enjoyed it.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Martin, for being with us. We look forward to hearing a lot more from you during La Liga's season, which is coming.